Red Dead Online released 4 years ago, and it's been a bit of a rough road to get to that point. In today's video, we're going to see how Red Dead Online holds up 4 years later and how it got to that point. But just before we do get into all of that, please be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any content just like this. Are you interested in starting your own gaming channel on YouTube, but simply don't know where to start? Well, I've got just the thing for you. By using the link in the description and the pinned comment, you can get access to a 50-minute free training session with a YouTube expert. And believe it or not, I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking about someone who has monetized many YouTube channels, one of them even being this channel right here, which I then took over. Some of the other channels he's monetized includes Joas97, FootFanatic, and OpenVision. And of course, he's helped other gamers monetize their own YouTube channels. He's even been helping me monetize my very own YouTube channel from scratch, and the first video I uploaded got over 30,000 views in about a month, which is insane. So the man behind all this is Jamie. Jamie is an expert when it comes to helping YouTube channels grow and improving your skills as a content creator. So I really can comfortably say that if you work with Jamie, the quality of your videos will improve drastically, and that really just is the case. So if you are interested in starting your own gaming YouTube channel, or even if you're not, then you might as well go to the link in the description. It really is just a gift. You get 50 minutes with a YouTube expert for completely free. So go down into the description or the pinned comment and check it out. Red Dead Online released back in November of 2018, and at first it seemed like it had a lot of potential. When it did release, the game really didn't have much to it. There was a couple story missions and there was a couple stranger missions. So other than that, it really wasn't much to do. Of course, there was a few showdown missions and stuff like that, but generally speaking, there wasn't much content. But players were very excited for the future of Red Dead Online, and they considered it to be the next GTA Online. They were assuming that Rockstar put as much effort into Red Dead Online that they did with GTA Online, and it would sort of overtake the throne of the online games with Rockstar. So at first, Red Dead Online had a massive fan base. It was really popular and one of the most popular games at the time. Now, it is worth noting that when Red Dead Online did first release, it was in a beta stage. And yeah, like I did mention, this Red Dead Online beta really didn't have much going for it. But the future did seem bright. It seemed like Rockstar did have a lot of ideas for the game, and many interviews were released with Rockstar employees where they were talking about future plans for the game. A lot of these ideas that Rockstar had in mind and the players had in mind were all awesome, and players were really excited for the future of Red Dead Online. So let's fast forward about a year later. After about a year, we'd had 2 major expansions, one of which was the Frontier Pursuits update. This added 3 new roles to the game: Bounty Hunter, Collector, and Trader. It is worth noting that this released in early September of 2019, so it did take them about a year to actually release a significant content update for Red Dead Online. And to be honest, that was pretty disappointing from Rockstar. By the time this update did release, a lot of people had left Red Dead Online since there really wasn't any new content for a whole year. They did add a couple story missions, a couple new showdown maps and stuff like that with a few patches, but other than that, nothing had really happened. It is worth noting that by this point, the game had moved out of its beta stage. But that's not to say that this Frontier Pursuits update was bad. It actually was really good. These 3 new roles had a lot of content inside of them. Then, just after the 1-year anniversary for Red Dead Online, we did get the Moonshiner update. Now, this actually added the first property into Red Dead Online, but it wasn't really that much of a property since it was more just a place where your business was held, and you couldn't really customize the outside of the property, and even inside there wasn't really that much to customize either. But this new role, being the Moonshiner role, was actually pretty fun. It added some new story missions into the game which you could actually replay, and it was a business. So then we got into 2020, and obviously there was a pandemic. One of the main issues with Rockstar Games over the years is that they never really communicate with their fans. They never say what's going on behind the scenes and what they're working on. All they do is release a trailer for something, and then about a week later they'll just release it. So during the pandemic, it was pretty hard to know what Rockstar were actually working on. They could have actually had to delay the updates due to the pandemic since they didn't have the development resources that they should usually have access to. And yeah, throughout the whole pandemic in 2020, we really didn't get that much communication from Rockstar. Every week in Red Dead Online, we were just getting the same weekly discounts and just the standard bonuses. It took 8 whole painful months for Rockstar to actually release a new major update for Red Dead Online. Now, this update was the Naturalist role, and this role wasn't... it was okay. It added a lot of content to the game. There were loads of animals to discover, and yeah, in terms of content-wise, it was actually pretty good, but in terms of actual enjoyment and having to wait 8 months, it probably wasn't worth it. And do bear in mind that by this time, the Red Dead Online audience had just got smaller and smaller, and to be honest, throughout those 8 months, the game was sort of just slowly dying. It was hard for fans to have a reason to keep playing Red Dead Online when they had no idea whether there would be another content update, since there was literally just no communication from Rockstar at all. Then on the 1st of December in 2020, we got a new update, and this was very, very disappointing. This brought a role expansion to the Bounty Hunter role, along with a awful nerf. So first of all, we'll get onto this Bounty Hunter expansion. Now, this Bounty Hunter expansion didn't really add that much. It added 10 new levels to the role, it added 3 new legendary bounties, and these new infamous bounty missions. But that was it. There really wasn't much content here, and it was pretty bold of Rockstar really to consider this a major DLC for the game, since there really wasn't that much to it and it was nothing major. Providing you were pretty experienced with Red Dead Online, you could literally complete this Bounty Hunter expansion within 1 day. And then there was also the nerf. The best way to earn gold within Red Dead Online was through daily challenges. You could build up a streak and you would be earning 0.5 gold for every daily challenge, and there were 7 daily challenges for standard daily challenges, and then there were 3 daily challenges for each role. Then you would also get a bonus amount of gold for completing all of the daily challenges, so there was a lot of gold to be earned, and this was actually a pretty nice way for players to get onto Red Dead Online every day and give them something to do. But with this Bounty Hunter role expansion, they actually significantly nerfed these daily challenges. They reduced the amount of gold that you would get for completing these daily challenges, and not only that, your streak would reset every 28 days. This really did stop players from coming onto the game daily, and personally I think this was a really bad move from Rockstar, since these daily challenges gave players a reason to actually go onto Red Dead Online daily and keep up their streak, but since they knew that the streak would just reset anyway, there was no point in playing Red Dead Online daily. And this daily challenge streak was one of the main things that kept players occupied during those 8 months during the pandemic, where there was literally no content updates. It was after this Bounty Hunter expansion where things really went downhill. Even after that small update, we had to wait another 6 months before we got the next update, and that update was the Blood Money update. Now personally, I didn't really mind this update that much, but it would have been nice to have something more to it. This was basically new robbery missions. People were expecting some sort of main heist, but you didn't really get that. You'd have these small robbery missions, which you could really compare these to stranger missions. The overall way these missions would play out was very similar, and then you would have 3 opportunity missions. And these opportunity missions weren't that impressive. There was a small cutscene at the beginning of them, and basically you would just have to go into a place, you'd have to collect some jewelry, and then you'd have to leave. Obviously there would be loads of enemies around it as well. And players were pretty disappointed with this update. Many people refer to the Blood Money missions as just glorified stranger missions, and I can see where they're coming from with that. Bear in mind that this update released in the summer of 2021, and well, we are now into the winter of 2022, and we've had no content updates. Rockstar had always kept a routine for both GTA Online and Red Dead Online of releasing an update in the summer and then an update in the winter. And well, it got to the winter of 2021 and we got nothing. There was no communication from Rockstar to why this was either. There was just no update. They just did a standard bonus, but this wasn't just a weekly bonus, this was a monthly bonus. And then from then on, they continued monthly discounts and bonuses instead of doing the usual weekly. So this seems like the point where support was just slowing down for Red Dead Online. It then took until about the summer of 2022 for Rockstar to confirm that there wouldn't be any major updates for Red Dead Online that year. They would just be adding some new Telegram missions. And don't get me wrong, there was nothing wrong with Telegram missions, but that should have been on top of 2 major DLCs that year. It does seem like Rockstar pushed a lot of their development resources from Red Dead Online over to the new entry in the Grand Theft Auto series, of course, being GTA 6. Now obviously the reason for this was because that's going to earn more money, and Red Dead Online simply didn't earn as much money compared to GTA Online, and it won't earn as much money as GTA 6. But that's not to say it wasn't a bad game. It still earned a load of money and is one of the best selling video games of all time, so Rockstar really shouldn't be sleeping on it. When Red Dead Online did first release, it had a massive fan base behind it, but to be honest, it was sort of Rockstar's fault that this fan base died down because they didn't update the game. But that brings us to today, 4 years after the release of Red Dead Online. And is it worth playing? And well, yes, Red Dead Online is worth playing 4 years later. For beginners, there is loads of content to get stuck into. You've got the 5 roles, you've got the Blood Money missions, you've got the Land of Opportunity story missions, and you've also got the Stranger missions along with all of the PvP. There is hundreds of hours of content there, if not thousands of hours of content there for beginner players. So if you were to start out in Red Dead Online 4 years later, you would have a lot of fun. There's a lot of content to go through, and yeah, there's lots of stuff to get stuck into, and then you'd also have the monthly bonuses and discounts which can help you along the way, and for beginner players, those discounts and bonuses are very useful. But so let's say you're a veteran player within Red Dead Online. You've been playing it since day one, and every time there is a new content update, you go through that content and then you just keep on grinding ready for the next update. And well, there's not many of those veteran players left. Many of them have just given given up, because otherwise they'll be grinding for the next update since the summer of 2021, and that was over a year ago now. But of course, the servers are still up, and it does still get some sort of support from Rockstar. We'll still get a few Telegram missions in the future, I'm certain of that, but it probably won't get another major DLC. Obviously, I could be wrong, they could go back to Red Dead Online, but it's starting to look more and more unlikely. So that's the main reason that there's not many veteran players left. But if you were looking to start out in Red Dead Online 4 years later, it is 100% worth it. There's still players there within the game still has decent support, and you will be getting those monthly discounts and bonuses from Rockstar. So to be honest, there's no reason not to play the game in 2022 if you're a beginner. But obviously as a veteran, there's no real motivation to play the game as you've played through all of the content and you're just grinding for, well, nothing. But if you do enjoy the game, then 100% play Red Dead Online. It's a great game, to be honest. There's a lot of content there, but obviously as a veteran player, there's not much to do. But if you are a veteran player and you enjoy grinding, then do that. That's what you enjoy, and you should definitely play Red Dead Online. Personally, I'm a veteran player and I still play Red Dead Online a bit as well. So, whilst Red Dead Online isn't great 4 years later, there's a lot of content there for beginner players. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this down in the comments below, and if you did enjoy this video, please be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any content just like this. So, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.